Ever have one of those days where you feel like you're running on a treadmill, just working your tail off, but getting absolutely nowhere? Well, today we're diving into Jim Steffen's aligned thinking. It's a framework designed to get us off that treadmill and move from just being busy to actually being in control. Let's figure out how to make our efforts finally line up with what really truly matters. I mean, does this sound familiar? That feeling? It's like you're stuck in a long, dark tunnel. You're working harder than ever, but the light at the end just isn't getting any closer. This is pretty much the universal cry of professionals everywhere, right? That frustrating feeling that all your hard work just isn't adding up to anything meaningful. All right, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to put a name to the problem, the overwhelmed paradigm. Then we'll talk about the solution, the antidote, aligned thinking. We'll walk through its three main pillars, that's purpose, focus, and control. And then we'll wrap up with the simple little key that makes the whole thing click. Okay, let's start with that hamster wheel feeling. The framework we're looking at gives it a name, the overwhelmed paradigm. And, this isn't just about having a lot to do. It's a specific state of being where you're putting in maximum effort, but you're getting minimum fulfillment in return. It's constant chaos. The author actually diagnoses this condition as the TODLF virus. It's short for to-do list frustration. And what's so powerful here is how this reframes the problem. See, this isn't some personal failing, it's a systems problem. That good old to-do list, the very tool we think is supposed to save us, is actually setting us up to lose every single day. So, if the old system is fundamentally broken, what's the alternative? This is where we get to aligned thinking. And it's not just another productivity hack or time management trick. No, it's a whole new way of operating, a complete shift in your mindset. It's the antidote to all that chaos. And this, right here, this is the core idea in a nutshell. Just look at that loop. It's a perfect closed system. Your purpose stops being this vague thing you think about maybe on New Year's Day. Instead, it becomes the actual engine that powers what you do every day. And then every little thing you do circles back and gets you one step closer to that purpose. It's a powerful, self-fueling cycle of meaning and getting things done. So how do we actually build this thing? Well, it's structured like a pyramid. The whole thing sits on this massive, solid foundation of purpose. Once that's in place, we build up with tools for focus, and then we learn to control the present moment. And right at the very top, the thing that locks it all together is what the author calls the MIN secret. Let's start at the bottom. First up, Pillar 1, clarify your purpose. Now, this is about way more than just setting some goals. It's about going deeper. Because before you can align all your actions, you've got to know what you're aligning them to in the first place. This question is the absolute heart of it all. The big insight here is that the burnout we feel, it's often not from the work itself. It's from this deep misalignment between the things we're spending our days doing and the things we feel deep down we should be doing. That gap is what drains our energy. And this is the real kicker. Your purpose isn't just some far-off destination. It's your fuel for right now. When the tasks you're doing today are connected to that bigger why, they stop feeling like chores. Suddenly, even an annoying interruption can be reframed. It becomes an opportunity to serve that bigger purpose, turning something that drains your energy into something that actually gives you energy. Okay, so having a clear purpose is great, but it's totally useless if it gets lost in the noise of everyday life. And that brings us to pillar number 2, mastering your focus. This is where we get really practical. Okay, I love this slide because it puts the classic to-do list on trial. The argument is simple. It's a game you can never win. It's an endless list. The new way of thinking suggests a holding pen for all your ideas and tasks. But your daily list, that's a priority list. It's short. It only has what you can realistically do today. This one change turns your day from an infinite marathon into a game you can actually win. And here is exactly why that works. Satisfaction isn't just about how much you get done. It's a ratio. It's what you got done divided by what you expected to get done. A normal to-do list sets your expectations sky high, making satisfaction nearly impossible. But by creating a realistic priority list, you're not lowering your standards. You are strategically managing your expectations to build momentum and feel good about your day. So we've got our purpose, we've got our focus. This third and final pillar brings it all right down to this very second. It's about understanding where all your power is actually located. This is kind of a riddle of time, isn't it? We spend so much mental energy regretting the past or worrying about the future, but we literally can't do anything in either of those places. All of our power, our ability to make a choice, to take an action, It's all concentrated in one tiny, fleeting moment, right now. So the real question is, how do you make the most of it? And that brings us to the very top of the pyramid. This is the key that unlocks the entire system and turns it from a cool idea into something you can actually do day in and day out. It's called the Min Secret. What's so amazing about this whole philosophy, all three pillars we just talked about, is that it gets distilled down into one simple, powerful question. It's a tool you can pull out of your pocket dozens of times a day to instantly get back on track and align what you're doing with what you want. And there it is, just 9 words. MIN simply stands for Most Important Now. Think about it. This one question pulls everything together. It forces you to think about the now, that's pillar 3. It makes you identify what's most important, that's pillar 2, your focus, and it connects it all back to what I really want, that's pillar 1, your purpose. It's the whole pyramid in one sentence. And using it is just a simple 3-step habit. First, before you start anything new, you just ask the question. That works like a filter. Second, you consciously decide to set aside everything else, all the non-mins. And third, you dive into your min with everything you've got, complete focus. It's basically a recipe for creating clarity in a world that's built on distraction. So when you put it all together, what's the big payoff? Well, it's a direct solution to all those problems we talked about at the beginning. It's about finally beating that TODLIF virus. It's about boosting your satisfaction, not just your productivity. It's about swapping stress for control by making sure your daily actions actually reflect your deepest values. It's about making every moment count. And really, that's what it all comes down to. This whole philosophy is pretty simple. Your life is nothing more than a long string of present moments, just one now after another. So the question aligned thinking leaves us with is a really powerful one. As you look away from the screen, what is the single most important thing for you to do right now related to what you really want? What's your next mind